Hello, welcome to the final word. Everton 2, Liverpool 2, the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park under the lights, the last ever game under the lights as it stands, unless something's changed. But there'll never be another Merseyside derby at Goodison Park.
It never will be.
And it ended in a frenzied finish. What an unbelievable way to end the game, with a last second volley at the Gladys Street end to sadly not to win it, but to grab a draw. It's basically the last kick of the game. If you were going to come from behind and write a script, that was the way you would do it, wouldn't it?
If you were ever going to do it. Imagine it finished just like 1-1. It's like, it wouldn't be the same, would it?
No.
It wouldn't be one of the most talked about probably goals, I'd imagine, for the last few years. The same way we still talk about the Jagielka goal at the Kop end. It's the same, innit? Does anyone ever remember who scored Liverpool's goal in that game? But you'll always remember the
Africa.
You'll always remember the Turkey one.
You will, absolutely. How were you feeling going into it? Because a lot of people were like, oh, so emotional, the last ever derby, and I was quite calm, and I think of the reason I said this on like the live shows we were doing yesterday. I think I was quite calm because it was a game in hand, and we had the buffer of the 9 points, so no matter what happened, we weren't going to be any worse off, almost, if that makes sense, even though it was an extra game. We were just catching everyone else up, so that sort of gave me a relaxed feeling. It was like I knew we'd have a go with them, because that's what we do with David Moyes. I think gone are the days of sitting back and being terrified. We're having a go, and we see what that brings. But you accept that we've got a big 8 players out, injury crisis, and they had a full squad. And when you look at that, you were like, if Liverpool turn up and play the way that they have been, it'll be very difficult for us. But I was quite calm going into the ground. I don't know.
I was quite calm before the game. None of that stuff. I think other people tried to build that up. I did Sky yesterday and talking about like it being the last game. It's like we've been doing this all season. Trying to, like, the club didn't quite know. I don't think how to deal with it. They tried to market stuff at the beginning of the season with events that never really caught on because. It didn't really matter. It's not going to matter until the last game. And then afterwards, it'll be how you can compare it. It's like, they asked me, like, how will you feel? I said, I don't know, because I've never done it before. So how will I know how I'll feel? This is the first and last time we will play at Goodison Park in a Merseyside derby. So how will I know how I'll feel? And so I felt quite relaxed going into the game. I really did. But
just on the game as a whole, what were you thinking?
I was relaxed, but I'm like you. I wasn't concerned about the starting 11. I was concerned about the subs, because I think the more and more football goes on, it's more about what's on the bench than what's on the what's in the first team. Everton are probably going to do all right for 60 minutes most of the time, and then it's going to be what happens after that. As long as no one does anything really stupid, we did on Saturday. So I was all right, and it was only when got in the ground and then the emotion of it being a Merseyside derby starts to take over, and that's the overriding fear. And then it's pity your stomach stuff then, isn't it? It's a Merseyside derby, don't want to lose, and then you start thinking, well, I don't want to lose this one because it's the last one. Don't want them to ever have anything over us. I can deal with all the other, I can deal with trophies. I can deal with like stuff like that, like getting to cup finals, but the stuff that actually affects us, like, we can't affect someone else's, like, whether if they win a cup or they win the league or whatever, that doesn't affect us, I don't think, the same. But when it's like actual tangible stuff that they can hold over you, like they beat you in in a game, or whether it be a cup final, it's the game that maybe helps them win a trophy or something like that, or it be the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. They're the things where you go, they can hold this over us. So thankfully they can never do that, and we are the reigning champions at Goodison Park.
Well,
we won last year, so we're the reigning champions.
We defended
yeah. That's it. It's the way I look at it.
unbeaten since October 23 against Liverpool. You'll never sing that.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
No, again, like you say, it was a case of yeah, that was the same. It was you're looking at obviously the team came out and you think, yeah, I thought that's what would be the team, because there's no real options. You know, there was a debate for about 4 seconds on whether Carlos Alcaraz will play or Decore, but it was always going to be Decore, because Decore physically is you know, does the job, works hard. Liverpool are a big side, particularly at the back as well, so he was always gonna, I think the manager always would have wanted that for set pieces, and for obviously when we had to play it using out ball, Van Dijk's quite dominant in the air and that. But so I was okay with the team, and we got in, and obviously there was the 1878 had done an absolutely fantastic display. I think James is just gonna put an image on and sec of it, you know, just to see, you know, they've done the Gladys Street end, and you know, we built this city and all of that stuff on it. Look at that for a display. I mean, I took that from my seat looking down at your end, and obviously you wouldn't have seen this from, you'd have a totally different perspective, because it's basically at the side and over you, but you know, look at that. I mean, absolutely brilliant. They've done a brilliant job. Volunteers, they ask for fans to go and help. A lot of these people don't get to see the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game because they're making their way. John Blaine and his lad David, you know, had gone in and helped as well, and Barry Williams, a big part of it, and people like that done an amazing thing. And I think that's really, it's almost like training for what we need to take into the new stadium,
absolutely.
Isn't it? And things like that on a night like last night, I think just helped add to that. The start of the noise was really loud, wasn't it, when the teams came out, and then
the bus welcoming,
and there was a bus welcoming.
The bus welcoming was, I never got there for the bus welcoming, but I got there just after, I believe. And the roads were just manic, like the whole of Goodison Road was just full, and it was just like, it builds that anticipation for the game. Like, you know, listen, the only big nights we've had in the last few years, we all know what those nights are, and they're not nights you want to remember or should ever enjoy. We want the opposite. We want big nights. We want big nights that mean something.
But let me ask you this, because just on the bus welcome, because I know that the route wasn't given out, and then the bus come in the wrong way, so people are at the other end, and there's no plans to do another one now, that's it. But do you think they should do one for the Southampton game?
No.
Don't you?
No.
Just because it doesn't.
There's nothing on it.
No, that's what I mean.
I think
it is almost like a goodbye to Goodison. And in the day,
goodbye,
like when it's light.
And should we just play Elton songs all the time?
You know what I mean? No, because what I'm saying is, I know there's no plans, it probably won't happen anyway, but I think that'd be a lovely way to sign off on a game when there shouldn't be absolutely anything on it. The final ever time driving down Goodison Road.
Yeah, they can do it. They can do it as in, like,
just as a farewell.
The Goodison experience.
That's it.
As in, like, this is the last time. So listen, do it.
I don't think they're gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying, do it.
There you go.
No, listen. Last night was like, see, this is the thing about last night, right? Last night's game is the last night anybody outside of Evertonians will care about Goodison Park. They will not care about the Man United game, the Man City game, or the Arsenal game. They won't care. No. Arsenal, they've got no players. They've got less players than us.
We'll be back. That was when the Arsenal win the league. And they'll be singing, we won the league at Goodison Park.
No chance of winning the league. As bad as Liverpool are, we're champions, I imagine, ever. But last night was the last time anyone outside Evertonians will care about Goodison Park. You know, for them, this was a game that had so much on that can't be replicated in any other game. So for everyone, it's poetic that it ended up being a night game on a Wednesday night, because they're the nights we will remember as fans for the rest of our lives. It is the night games at Goodison. There aren't many Saturday games that you ever go, oh yeah. I mean, like, even in recent history, the Palace game is a Thursday night game. There's something special, obviously, about Goodison Park on a midweek, on a night game, and that's why it was so important. And the fact that it was the last, it was almost like it was planned by the wind gods, or maybe you just call them God.
Very wind.
There was something special about that, wasn't it? And everyone knew that last night, and it played into it. And the bus welcoming got everyone on the right foot. And what the 1878's done again is absolutely fantastic. They threw everything at it, and I know I was there. When was it now? It's like late November.
Brentford, even.
Yeah, late November, and the plans for the derby were already. But it was arseful. It just would never have been the same.
No.
It would never have been. You get there, you're half asleep. People haven't had many bevies. Last night was just perfect for an occasion, and that's why it played. The way it played out was not perfect. It's not perfect. We haven't won the game, but in many ways, it's the closest thing you can get to a win. And I think the atmosphere and the bus welcome and all that played its part. And if they can replicate certainly the bus welcome for the last game of the season, then people are never going to be hyped up as much as that. But there'll be a different kind of emotion when that's out.
But wouldn't that be great for the? You're right. It's never going to get to like what it was like when they welcomed them in when Frank was here, and it was like we need to win this game. But I think, and the Palace night, but I think that'd be a brilliant way to send it off in a more relaxed environment. It's great for everyone to be there. It'll be like a nice, hopefully like a nice afternoon, and be a nice sign.
It would create an occasion, and if you did do a bus welcome, you can never turn around and go, we should have done a bus welcome, because you'll never get an opportunity.
That's it, it's done,
and that sometimes is better, isn't it? It's better to do something and not regret it afterwards.
I think it'd be shocker. I think people would love to go there and see.
And hopefully, if it is a relaxed affair, then what difference does it make for anyone?
That's what I mean.
But it makes a difference in terms of like the spectacle of the occasion.
Onto the game, I thought we started all right. I think. We had a good little move. I know Liverpool broke quickly, didn't they, in the first minute or so, but we dealt with that. And then we had a lovely little 1-2 on the wing and got Lindstrom away. And if he'd have just fired it across, Beto's in the middle on his own, and he takes 2 touches and then cuts the pass. I know we got a corner out of it, but with a little bit of quality there, we would have had the first chance of the game. And thought, okay, we look on it here, and I thought we made a really good start to the game. They committed a few stupid fouls and sort of went against what Arne Slot seemed to be saying the day before. But we got a free kick on the halfway line, and it was a really intelligent free kick from Jared Blantley. But just before that, what did you make of the opening 10 minutes? That included that half chance with Lindstrom. If he could have just, it's a better quality.
Yeah, we started with good tempo. Obviously, you can see the difference in the level of the players. Yeah. They're all one touch. We're taking an extra touch and we're thinking about everything.
Yeah.
It was evident early on they wanted to kick shite out of Njai. Basically, they saw him as our main outlet, and if they could get control of him, and these did. They started early on.
They all had a go.
Just niggling little kicks here and there. I think one of them led. Ironically, I'm not even sure that one was actually a foul, if I'm honest.
No, but he lunged in.
And that's it. And it's because if you start early and start kicking a player, and then the ref goes, well, I haven't given those first 2, so I'm going to have to give this one. That's what happens. So yeah, I mean, listen, they were trying to be clever, and Van Dijk standing on the ball. Grow up, mate. Grow up. That like going, come on. It's like, no, why? You have the ball. If you want the ball, you just keep it, mate.
Do whatever you want.
You just do what you want, but we're not going to get caught up in your drama. No, and we started well. I think it settles everyone down a little bit, doesn't it? Because for the first couple of minutes there was an intensity about them trying to push forward, but once we got through that, then we settled down and took the lead in really good fashion.
We've got James got the stills here. We've got the free kick. Jared Brantwaite's over it, and it was really intentional. He's looking. Everyone's gone to the far, and he angled, but then turned, and you see Beto steps onside here, even though Bradley's placed them all on anyway because he's half asleep. Beto steps back and Brantwaite just plays a lovely ball into the gap. And we know this is what we're saying. With Konate and Van Dijk, everything ahead of them, they deal with a lot really well. Particularly Van Dijk, but he doesn't deal with anybody who runs off him because he can't turn. And Konate got caught out, and the pair of them are chasing the ball in. Beto's away, it's a great ball, bent into his path. by Branthwaite, gets it again out of his foot, across his body, and he's just got to open his body up. Now, can he finish? And we know that that's something he does really well, and he just rolls it under Alisson, and there's the Al LeBron James, I think, celebration, or LeBron Beto.
People say LeBron James does the Beto.
Yeah, well, that's what it is said. LeBron just copies Beto, apparently. But no, it was a really intelligent free kick, and it was a brilliant finish by Beto. And if you can get the ball to him in those areas, that's where he comes alive, and he scored. It was a great finish.
It was a great run. It was a great run. Very intelligent. He's, Beto finishing, we said. But his runs are so well timed, and we've seen it recently. The goals he scored since coming in against Peterborough, his timing of his runs are brilliant. And David Moyes is playing to his strengths, and that's really important. It hasn't happened before, and again, it's like the last manager wanted to play a certain way, didn't suit the way he played, but now we're having to adapt to him, and it could be a sliding door moment for him and for the football club in terms of getting a striker if you play to his strengths. And I think that free kick was clear as day. It's like, just play a quick run around the corner, because he knows what's coming, and he's obviously done it in Italy for some time. It's obviously what the big strength was. We bought a player and we didn't utilise him. He's not a back to goal striker. He's not a strong player in the air, but that's what he's so good at, and let's utilise it. Let's keep doing it. And hopefully the other stuff catches up.
Yeah.
The other stuff with training.
Well, I thought physically he was good. Like, he was up against two big strong lads.
He was a nuisance.
He knocked them about a bit and got them involved a little in it. Van Dijk wanted to push him onto Konate. He didn't really want to have to deal with him, and I thought Beto did that really well. Brilliant start, absolutely brilliant start. That second where you're going,
yeah,
is he offside? Yeah. But then you see Conor Bradley, and he kept them all on. Don't know what he was doing. So, we 1-0 up, and it's like, right, and they looked rattled then. Salah was throwing the arm, Diaz was giving fouls away by jumping at players without looking at the ball, which is normally, when you do more than one of them, it's a booking, but Michael Oliver didn't think it was. About it. But then we go and do what Decore does, which is we defend a free kick, which we give away because we give the ball away, chiefly, and then we're breaking when he gives the ball away again. Instead of, we had one or two choices for me, right below me. It was play the ball, clip the ball, and let Garner run the other side, or it was smash it to the corner, get everyone reset and let them start. And he tries to be clever and play it behind them, and they just stick a leg out, get it to Salah, and he's the worst person you want to have the ball in that position, and he bends a great, but we should block the cross, and we don't. The ball comes in, and one of our centre-backs should deal with it, and McAllister just gets his head to it before Tarkowski and Pickford.
I just think
he's caught out.
It's poor from everyone, isn't it? Tarky, I think, should deal with it. Pickford should save it, and the cross shouldn't be allowed to come in, and the Corey shouldn't give it away. It's a really poor goal. It's what Liverpool.
Good from them. It was a great ball in by Salah, but you've got to deal with it.
Centre back should be dealing with that all day. Yeah. But it happens. So it happens in the transition, and Liverpool are good at that.
Yeah.
They're good at catching teams on the transition while they're not set, and it's because it's come so quickly after we've scored. 4 minutes, wasn't it? It bursts the bubble, doesn't it? Or bursts the balloons that they brought with them. It does. It just you need to keep that going as long as you can and get a foothold back in the game, and sadly we lost it. But
I thought we reset really well after 5 minutes of that. They didn't ever. It's weird. It was the first time I've really watched them this season. Like, obviously at close quarters, and I don't know whether they play like that all the time. I don't know, but they're so slow with the ball. It was weird. A couple of my mates who were there, so like they were saying basically they haven't been playing like that. They couldn't understand how Liverpool just kept smashing long balls. They were like the most long balls we've probably ever played in a game. And you've got massive defenders. They were fuming over it. But I just felt when I've watched Liverpool under Klopp, I'd be on the edge of my seat all the time thinking, at any time these can just go boom, boom, because they were all over you. And I know that slot, it's more methodical, so they never ever built up any head of steam at any time really in the game. And that, I think that let Everton sort of back into it a little bit, and we had our shape right, and we dealt with everything.
I think
really.
They're notorious for being poor in the first half, according to Liverpool fans.
Right.
This season. So I don't know whether that played a part in it. But I suppose, listen, I don't watch them ever, so why would you? I suppose for them, if they're not playing as high tempo football and they're winning games, then obviously when the latter stage of the season comes around, they're going to be more prepared for it, and clearly they are, because they're obviously 7 points clear now, and you know, latter stages of the Champions League, so they're more prepared. They don't seem to be getting as many injuries and stuff like that. So and it's, let's get it right, it's Salah getting them out the shit most of the time. And you know, they're fair. What can you say? The league's shite this season, clearly, because I wasn't impressed by them whatsoever.
No,
I really wasn't. I thought second half we battered them. I really did. And that's the level in quality, is that we miss chances and they get one, and he takes it because he's amazing.
He's unbelievable. No, I was just surprised by them, because it was like, there was, I don't know, seen so many brilliant Liverpool teams, and these are obviously really good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not 2012, but you know,
no. What I'm saying is, I think I've just got used to watching them under Klopp, and it was the first time I'd seen him under Slot, and there was just a massive difference. But Mo Salah's unbelievable, isn't he? But the only real sort of, I mean, Conor Bradley, you know, yellow carded, and then the referee decided to book the Corey because he just jumped in the air and said the Corey kicked him, so he booked the Corey for it.
He booked Garner for some kind of weird pullback that was just two players tangling with each other. Yeah. Which is probably why he didn't send Garner off, because he did get a little bit lucky. But he booked Lindstrom when he should have booked
McAllister.
No, it was I thought it was Sabalovic.
Oh, it was Soboslai.
And he booked him because he asked for a yellow.
Yeah.
And then Diaz asked for a yellow, and Garner got booked, and he was all right. He was all right.
Yeah, Michael Oliver was crap, but both teams,
terrible.
He was absolutely.
He had no control.
Terrible referee. He's a terrible.
He had no control over the game whatsoever. No control.
But in the first half, they had that Soboslai shot, which Pickford saved, and Taki, a brilliant tackle on.
Wasn't a good save either by Pickford.
Well, no, but he
but it wasn't. It wasn't a good save.
He saved it, and it was a good tackle by Taki, because Diaz would have tapped it in otherwise. But that was it really for them. Then there was nothing, and you know, we had in 1-1. And you're thinking, all right, well, that's all right, you know, we've got a chance of winning this. They're not, you know, they're not on top or whatever. And we come out the second half, and I thought the next sort of, the whole second half was literally, it just looked like us. We were going to be the team. They had nothing. There was smashing long balls. It was going nowhere. There was no build-up.
They do like a long ball, don't they?
They love it.
I was surprised by that as well.
Van Dijk is brilliant when you just give him like loads of time and space to look up and, you know, just clip the boy. Great at that. Go and get on him, run beyond him, and he struggles a little bit. And that was what we were doing second half, and there was no build up from them. Obviously, it's about keeping Mo Salah quiet, because he's the real world class player. And I thought, to be fair, Jake O'Brien did really well. Gakpo's been in really good form, and he didn't give him anything. And when Diaz went out there, he didn't give him anything either. So he had a really good game. And that second half, so we got into good areas, but the final ball wasn't great. We lacking quality, but we did have a good little move, and we got a ball into the corner, and he had got to do. I don't know what he sort of.
He had loads of time. He was right behind it. He had loads of time, and he's sort of done that. He's sort of done that thing where he's shaped to try and like get a good. And like when you almost see like players try and kill things off their head, he tried to like do something clever instead of just hitting the target and leaving the power on it.
Yeah, and
as long as he hits the target, then you think he's got a good opportunity. But he tries to like do his body to try and place it, and he's put it completely wide, and it's just like, what a chance.
He had that, and then he had
another one
with Tarkowski. Probably should have shot, and he didn't. He bottled it and squared it, and he blazed it over, and it was like. Then Jack Harrison goes through and has one shot blocked, then has another one where he actually gets the shot away, but it's slow motion. But Alisson like watches it go past, and you're like, these are all moments. Like we had a corner come in, and then we did have the ball in the net. And I haven't seen another angle, and some people have gone, I was tight, you know, but I can only believe
it wasn't tight.
No, well, it was two angles, wasn't it? But the lines
back from an offside.
The lines would have given it anyway, wouldn't he?
He'd come back from an offside position.
But Brantwaite put it in the net well, and it was like, all right, well, let's keep doing this then.
Yeah.
And then there was a moment where it could have been a penalty. It could have been, I'm not sitting here going it was a disgrace, but it could have been a penalty. It was
Under the old rules, it would have been a penalty.
It was handball.
Yeah.
And I know Ali McCoy said, well, it was the same as Veltman that Everton got at the Amex, so it was a penalty. I don't know. I know he apparently leaned into him, but then Konate moves his hand, so I don't know. But it hits his hand and you're going, could that have gone Everton's way? But then out the blue, they broke and it was in the net. I think they got a corner, didn't he? And he went short and we don't get out and stop the cross. Taki doesn't clear it properly.
And then Jake doesn't really react to it.
He doesn't react.
And it allows Curtis Jones too much time in the box. He gets the shot in. Branthwaite gets the header. The header goes straight to...
As if it could have gone anywhere.
No, it could have gone anywhere. It could have gone anywhere.
World class. One touch, bang.
It could have gone straight to Pickford and Pickford could have just caught it. But that's what happens, isn't it?
Green,
that's what happens.
And you know what, at that stage, because at 1-1 I'm thinking, we can win this, because I don't know, there hasn't been any, they'd made subs and there was no reaction. And I was thinking, this is here.
I mean, it all stemmed from Conor Bradley not being sent off. Okay, I've watched it back and it's not as bad as what I thought it was in the ground. It's a bit more of just a coming together. But at that point, he'd let so much stuff go and then book people for...
He could have sent Garner off though, as well.
No, but Garner's first yellow isn't a yellow card. And it's literally like the first thing one of our players does. And yet, for the start of the game, I don't know, and I've heard this twice, I honestly don't know what Garner could have got sent off for. What could he have been sent off for?
It was Gakpo cut in and he grabbed him round the waist. And he stayed up.
He's giving him a hug.
I'm just saying.
He's a nice fella.
But then what I would say is Andy Robertson was on a booking and fouled thingy below me. And the referee went to give it and realised he'd have had to send them off and give it the other way. It was right below me.
And he'd done that with both, I think. And that's why, obviously, we knew straight away these are going to make subs.
Well, have we seen it at
Anfield? They took them both off, like at Anfield, they took them both off. Trent Alexander-Arnold comes on. And then they've made subs, and you wonder whether would they have made those subs if they were on yellow cards, and the referee might have to give the next one as a red. And then so they've already upped the game slightly. We can't. Yeah. And then when they scored, you just felt the energy drain out to the ground, because it was like you looked at our bench and thought, we've got nothing to change this. We've only got players that we could have brought on to try and hold on to the game. That's how it felt at the time. Whereas these have got players who can change this game. For as bad as as bad as the other fella is up front, he still gets opportunities and he can change they've got so much talent.
Jota, fantastic.
Yeah.
Jones was a good player.
And it just took the energy out of the ground and it was just so annoying, because up front we were just at that point, Beto and Decore were running on fumes.
Yeah, they were knackered,
but they kept going, and it was just little subtle changes, wasn't there?
Well, listen, the goal, it's a brilliant goal, because it's a great first touch by Salah, and then it's right foot in. But you are looking, going, I'm sat there thinking, how are we behind? Yeah. Like, I've been to so many derbies where we've been battered, or even if it's like a game where we've been on top, but Liverpool have always been a real threat all the way through. So when they score, you sort of like, they've got that quality. Where there was nothing that happened, and all of a sudden they were winning. It was like, where's that? Like, I was thinking the same thought, and people had said this to me on Monday after the game. Like, messes with all it, it's the misery pit. Goodison, I can't wait to leave, we're cursed. And when that went in, I thought, I think we probably are just cursed, because they have not done anything. And I always think when we go to Anfield, there is not a world, a universe where that would happen. Yeah. They'd be all over us and we'd break and score from nothing, where the ball would break, and it's like, and you go, oh my God. And then the 2-1 up, the top of the league, and you're thinking, they're not, and they did for 10 minutes, they took the game away from us. The only time in a game where you thought it more likely to be 3-1 than 2-2 this, and
pick for that to make the save.
Pick for that and that, but even that, but like Van Dijk just hooked that clear, shinned it, and it put bloody Jota through. And he didn't, and he does a good run, and Salah has a good shot, and Pickford saves. It was the only save he had to make second half. And you're thinking, these could make it 3-1 here, but I don't know what happened, but the street end sort of woke up again then.
No, I think what happened was, what simply happened was, is that towards the end, the fans, certainly in the Galaxy, were like, we've played well here. We don't want the lasting impression of this game, no matter what happens, to be Everton fans. We don't want to give these people what they think they're going to get, which is Everton fans booing or Everton fans just sulking. Number one, fuck's sake, Park End, stay till the end. Loads of them went.
Because I can't watch
Loads of them
celebrate.
went.
I heard this.
Please, no, please.
Can't watch them
You've got to,
celebrate.
no matter where you are in the ground, right? If it's 2-1, I don't care who it's in. You've got to start staying till the end of games. You've got to. Look, I was looking at the parking and these big blokes with it gone. Like, you've got to start staying.
Well, then people have missed.
No, I know you've missed out on an iconic moment, but people have to start staying to the end of games because you're gonna miss a moment like this. But the Gladys just basically started singing, as in, you've played well, lads. You deserve something out of this game. It wasn't like, come on, you know, we can. It was more like, you deserve to be. You know, people started singing Everton because it was like, if this is the last Merseyside derby, we're gonna go out with our heads held high, with a bit of pride, and I think a couple of players just responded to it and just thought, this isn't over till he blows. And obviously we had two players hitting each other, which was mad because it did look like something out of a Wacky Races cartoon, didn't it? It was like Scooby-Doo. So like, boing. And that added on a little...
The referee just let them play on.
Yeah, let them play on.
Let you off the waltz into the box.
Exactly.
The ball.
So if anyone goes, where did the minutes come from? The minutes come from when you tried to score and we had 2 head injuries. That's where it came from, lads. And
Alisson.
I know the players just went... There's still an opportunity here. Keep going. Go long, whatever. He brought Ashley Young on to play on the right. He put Jacob Brown up front.
Well, we'd had a couple of in that, like, sort of like the last 10 minutes. So, like the 85th minute onwards, we started having, you know, with a Boonham, smash one over. And, you know, Beto had a shot with Alisson saving. He should have just passed it to Alcaraz. But and all of a sudden, people were like, and they started panicking a little bit and getting a bit nervy.
We lulled them into a false sense of security. That's what it was.
Is that what it was? But they started looking nervy and edgy again, and you know, the flapping a little bit. And O'Brien went up there, and eventually you scream and get it forward, and it does come.
There was one where we were like playing 3 or 4 passes around the back. I mean, there was still 5 minutes left though. But like, you're like, just get it forward. But
then it went forward, and Corey wins the first header. Harrison hits the first man, and it breaks back, and Michalenko just puts it in the mixer, and you know what, we go, and there's a little flick on by Boonham, and it comes to Tarkowski, and I'm right behind it, and I see the ball, as you do. You're like looking, and you see him running on and think, oh my God, just hit the target. And he hits it. And I don't know whether you saw Iwata's goal for Birmingham the other day against Newcastle.
Of course it
did. The lad was an absolute worldie. Similar to that. His was better because his was further out, but it wasn't nowhere near better. And Tarkowski just rifles it, and oh my God, the noise, the scenes, the limbs in the street end. Unbelievable, and and of course you're looking, and the legends like it's and you're going, oh my God, and then you're losing yourself. And what was absolute poetry in motion was, first and foremost, for a team who's unbelievable, like successful wise, and at top, why were the only songs about us? I don't get that, but hey ho. But when you can hear them singing, we won the last derby at Goodison Park.
Someone told me that after
as
game.
The cross comes in. No, you wouldn't have been able to hear them, but they had the right by me. But that was all. They were singing, and it was
they're literally the worst away fans I've ever seen.
It was literal. You couldn't script it any better. They're singing those words. We've won the last derby at Goodison Park as it drops to Taki. And he smashes it in the roof of the net, and they went cockroaches, mate, like a light.
It seemed to happen in slow motion. It was like Beto leans on, it's never a foul. It's never a foul. Do you know what? Because when I walked out the ground, I actually was saying that was a foul. Because I was talking to his dad on the way out, and he was like, I'm glad they were looking at an offside and not looking at a foul. And I was like, I know. Because to us, it looked like
a foul.
No, I know. But we don't know.
You don't know,
I thought we won.
I thought you said that like You said that jokingly, didn't you, obviously?
To me, I thought he pushed him in the back, but when you watch it again, he just leans on him. It's not a foul. That's contact. That's not over-aggressive contact. It doesn't mean that's what football's all about. What we forget when we watch football is players are allowed to have a little bit with each other, and he was just stronger. But the way it drops, the way it sits up, even the fact that Iraburum knocks it on and doesn't try and head it towards the goal. There's so many little things in it where you think if he'd done that, he'd done that. But when you it's like a second, isn't it? It's like the second before, and everyone's just stops. Time just stops, and everyone just takes in a deep breath, and you know this is going to go in two places. One, to get back of the net, or the back of the Gladys. It's one or the other. And in many ways, you want a Tarky hitting that rather than you want a Michael Keane hitting it, but you want a Tarky hitting it, don't you, rather than almost like a centre forward or a cultured player, because they might try and do something stupid with it. But he just has no other thought to just leather it. And I just love the fact that after the game, he's being interviewed by Phil Jagielka. And they actually did do a bit before the last derby for TNT on volleying. So it was there was a premonition. There was a premonition before.
And he didn't score a single one, by the way.
Yeah.
He said.
And he done it. And what he did, there's a video of him scoring one. And he did it. And he did exactly you couldn't script it. And as I said, if it finishes 1-1 with those two goals in the first half, it goes out with a whimper and everyone shakes hands and walks off. But it feels like to me, it's like all the derbies rolled into one. All happened. Then there's players getting sent off. There's managers not happy. There's pandemonium. There's bedlam, and it felt like that's how a Goodison Park send off for the Merseyside derby should be. Yes, okay, we haven't got the win, and that's slightly disappointing. But just the scenes at the end, that's what everyone deserves. The TV got their moment. They'll be absolutely made up with it. They'll be made up. I said this on Sky before when it was like, oh, that's not terrible. It's like, you got what you wanted. Don't come crying. Don't come crying to us. Oh, isn't it terrible? Oh, he jumped on him and he celebrated. Off. You wanted it. You got what you wanted. You wanted the way and throw bottles at people. You wanted mad scenes. You wanted a Scouser getting sent off. You wanted someone else. You wanted a manager who's normally cool, calm, and egghead getting kicked off on as well and getting sent off. You wanted all this, and you got your money's worth. So don't come crying to us, because this is what real football actually looks at. And for far too many years, it's like, think of the children, think of the children, the children on the pitch, mate, celebrating with flares,
throwing bottles,
or throwing bottles in the away end with the balloons. They tried to throw balloons, but they found out they just don't travel that far. No. This is what football's all about. No, why do people go, oh, we don't want to see that in football? Of course, we can want to see that in football. We want to see last minute scenes. We want to see pitch invaders. We want to see people trying to steal corner flags. We want stewards.
Why was someone trying to rob the corner?
We want to see stewards giving it back, and not some steward who works for some firm who doesn't even know what footy is. We want to see all these things. They've been taken out of the game. We want to see them all. We want to see all this in football. It's not, we all got brought up with it. We didn't all turn out terribly bad, did we? We didn't all turn out to be hooligans. We know it's a sport. It gets played on the pitch. We have our role in it, and that's what you want. And what a send-off for the last Merseyside derby. It couldn't have been scripted any better than that.
You couldn't have got, like I said, right.
Other than if it was being 3-2.
Of course, if that was the winner, then they'd been disallowed. No, that was the winner.
And then modern football tries to ruin it.
Exactly, and it's bad when I've seen a clip of Mark Goldbridge and I had to agree with him. And he's saying, you're trying to ruin what is an amazing moment by taking 3 hours over an offside, which they knew within about 4 seconds. You could tell one angle. And I was explaining this on the live. So Graham, the show, and Dixon and that was sat there, and obviously my mate's here, so I looked to him with and at first, and Steve Kelly, who sits up there, is looking along, and at first they're going, it's offside, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't believe this. And then the next angle comes on, they're going, they're all celebrating, and then Dixon's like that. Dixon's just giving the thumb to go to goal. So then we start celebrating, then they go, the checking a push.
That was what was worse, though.
Oh my
you
God.
started shouting because we were like, yeah, and I knew that's where it come from. And then another pocket over by probably the press.
Yeah, in the press.
They're all cheering, and I'm thinking,
but then
what's real? What isn't real?
The next minute they go like that, the goal, and then the referee's waiting up. So we're all celebrating and all that, and then I'm looking at Michael Oliver, and I'm thinking, but what else can you? What else? What is happening? Because he give the goal. It's there. It's on the screen, given, and then obviously. He gives the goal.
I'm just glad we did get the aesthetic moment of a goal. There was no lines from putting the flag up. So we did get the aesthetic moment of celebrating. And it was only like afterwards.
What did you think though in those moments? Did you think they'll disallow it?
I thought they would because there wouldn't be any more Everton if they hadn't disallowed it. And then for the rest of our lives, not do we hear about how we lost the derby, but how we'd celebrated a goal that never was.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't be any more Everton than that. It's not about losing a game. It's about we can laugh at you for something. That's it, isn't it? That's the Everton experience for you right there in a nutshell. So the fact that they couldn't find anything, and the fact that it was, their fans crying about the because I come onto that game absolutely fuming about the referee.
I was fuming with them
because I'm obviously seeing it from my vantage point. But to hear their fans coming out going, Salah was fouled down that end, and where did he get the extra time from, and all this. To hear that, I was like, have I just walked into a parallel universe here? So to hear all that was confusing. But we did get our moment, and then we got obviously a second moment, and as I said, it wouldn't be Everton. And I suppose
yes or no, when they went to take the kick off, did you think, please, Everton, no?
I just thought,
I could see them launching it.
To be honest, I had the thought that there was only going to be seconds. And also I thought, if you allow more than 10 seconds, you are not leaving this ground. There's going to have to be a tunnel, Michael Oliver.
I was thinking, if disallowed, if you get off the pitch. Yeah,
there's going to have to be.
If Michael Oliver had to be like, do not disallow this goal.
Like my leg.
And then obviously, they knocked the ball forward and we cleared it, and that was it. He blew the whistle.
And that's, for allowing the ball to go that far forward, you've allowed the Corey to be in that position. So that's firmly on the referee for allowing the Corey to be where he was. I blame the ref for that, clearly. And if Curtis Jones doesn't jump on him, their fans have already gone. So the Corey, it's like anything else, isn't it? It's like when they say, I'm balling, they go, it's a unnatural position. Well, it's the same with the Corey. They're trying to say he's in an unnatural position. No, he's on the football pitch. He can celebrate wherever he wants. It's a football pitch. If he jumped into their crowd, then
he did.
No, he didn't. Don't do that. Don't fall into that.
I'm not.
You've gone. No, you've gone. You've gone past WhatsApp Baz and you've gone to overlap Baz.
No,
you are.
No. Their fans are here. Our fans are there. Yeah. Instead of going there to them, go there to them and go like that.
There's no fun in that.
There is, because what he's doing is, he's still doing it.
Yeah.
But he's going, I'm doing it, and you can see me, but I'm doing it to Dave and Des there, who are Evertonians, not,
Maybe he's got something wrong with his eyes, and he thought
he's a right back.
Maybe he thought he was looking at Everton fans, and he wasn't.
But listen, it all kicked off, and our players are over there, and it was quite amusing.
Our players should have just flapped their arms.
Oh, there've been buckins everywhere.
Everywhere.
There was one moment where I think Nunes tried to front O'Brien, and he just done the Al Barkley to Emre Can, shoved them, and Nunes just sort of went, yeah, this
not today.
This is not for me.
Not today.
But listen, it ended 2-2, and it was you couldn't have written it any better, could you? The last minute. If they won it, obviously, clearly you could have written it better. But what I mean is, if me and John had done the live yesterday and said, if we can't win, and it's a score draw, we be the team that equalised, be the team that scored the last goal. And to do it at the Gladys Street end as well, with the last kick of the game, with a goal like that, under the lights, you apart from a win, you probably couldn't have scripted it much better, and kept the run going. 10 points and 12 now, 10 points clear of that relegation zone. You're looking now going, it'd take a lot for them teams to be
I think we have to get out the mind. We're above West Ham,
but we're closer to the other teams.
We're the same points as Tottenham.
Yeah.
And the mindset has to be, after a performance like that, and after a performance like against Leicester, the mindset has to be, we're in that pack now.
Yeah.
And it's up to keeping, and of course the injuries are going to take,
that's it.
That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem that, you know, Saturday will be the problem with that, things catching up to you.
Well, I mean, just on Illiman and Jai, you know, there's stuff going around.
Well, there's a picture of him, isn't there, getting an I mean, he's going to have a knee brace on. He's got to
have a knee brace on if it's they're worried about it. And I mean,
he's got slippers on, and more worried about having slippers on.
But that doesn't look good.
No.
You'd think, even if it's not bad news, you're thinking that looks at the very best case scenario 4 weeks, something like that. So we're going to have
We've been like, look at the squad. For, you know, again, when you're talking about the quality, the squad's been decimated. The attacking players have been decimated. We're down to the bare bones now. We really are.
We are getting to the Spurs level. No one's talking about it.
We're just going to have to rejig some of the positions, you know, in terms of, like, maybe, I don't know what, you might have to put Ashley Young on the right and put, you know, Lindstrom in the middle, and there's going to have to be a rethink, and obviously that did start last night, the way he brought on Ashley Young and he put Jake O'Brien up front rather than bringing Keane on, stuff like that.
Learned, thankfully.
I think he thought it would look embarrassing if I brought Michael Keane on. So he thought it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be weeks till we get any of those players back, and it's going to have to be all hands to the pump. But we've given ourselves an opportunity, and it's how we use the players we've got, and it's how we use the subs in the right way. And I mean, listen, if we lost last night and Njai being injured, that'd be you know, if we lost Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Brighton and we hadn't won that game, that's where at least we've picked up points from these games. Players can get injured at any time. Kicking the grass isn't one I did think was going to be on the bingo card twice, but it is, and again, that's on Everton to get to start thinking now about in the summer about who we're bringing in and the quality and the level of quality. And maybe you could go, let's bring in him and he's dead good, and go, no, but couldn't we bring in two that have a level of quality that's going to extend? And we have to look at that for every squad.
Refresh. We've got to refresh the whole thing and rebuild the whole thing.
We've got to rebuild it.
At least by adding these points on and hopefully grabbing some wins now and getting this done quicker, we can plan earlier, can't we, for next season.
But also, just believing, though, you look at the level of performance last night. The level of performance isn't of a team. Wasn't of a team. It's not like we scored a fluky second goal. No. We deserve something out of that game. So it's not. They will win the league because Arsenal are terrible. The level of performance is we will pick up points if we're clever and we're savvy. We'll pick up points and we'll get away from down there, and that's it. And that's how we have to start thinking, and it's really difficult. I said last week, earlier on this week, I did a show with the Redmen, and I said, you look at us and go, you'll be well clear, and we'll look at you and go, you'll piss the league. And we can have that opinion, and you can have that opinion, but we're not going to do that ourselves. That's not how football works, is it? You will always worry till it's mathematically certain that you've done a thing. You can't take anything for granted, but where we are now compared to when David Moyes come in is absolutely night and day.
Sure, James Tarkowski, absolutely brilliant. You know, wasn't great at the weekend, even by his own admission. Had a mare, really, 2 goals away. But redeemed himself. Like, could have done a bit better maybe, but redeemed himself with that goal. But these are his numbers from last night. 9 clearances, he had 5 header clearances, won 5 out of 8 of his duels, 1 goal and accurate long balls, 6 out of 9 accurate long balls. And I think, you know, defended well last night, although you pick holes. I mean, even the first goal, should probably get a bit closer to it. But the second goal, he's trying to just volley a clearance, and it could go anywhere. And okay, I wouldn't say it's like a big error. He probably could have done a bit better, but he definitely made up for it with that volley. But I seen a few things the other day when he had a bad game against Bournemouth, and people saying he hasn't been a good sign and he's been this, that, and he's like, this is a player we got for nothing. Who has played every minute for us and been really good. He's had days when it hasn't been brilliant. He's played through injury this season, but in general he's been a really good signing, and his name, it will be etched in history now for Everton with thanks to that incredible volley. And you know, Jagielkas was the best goal at Anfield, and Tarkowski was the best volley at Goodison in the derby from our number 6 with Polish grandparents. How about that one?
You're not going to get many of that, are you?
You're not.
You're not going to get many of them, are you? That's such a weird...
Both with the captain's armband on.
Such a weird symmetry, that, isn't it? You're never going to have that. Fair play to him. Listen, you can't, again, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's been a brilliant signing. He does have these games. So I said the other day, it's like a battery.
Yeah.
Battery, like the Man United games, like the battery runs down and then it goes back up again. And I was proved right. It goes back up and he does that. He is, when he's at his best, he's a really, really good centre-back. And most of his performances are pretty consistent. But then he does do stupid things. On Saturday, he never recovered,
No, he didn't.
From an early mistake. Penalty. And he never recovered.
Yeah.
And it's...
I was going to say, do you think that, just quickly on him before we finish, that it's more an indictment on us that we haven't had someone who is as good to replace him, to take him out when he's knackered. Like, he played through a back injury. I mean, we did, ironically, but the other fella didn't want to play him. But he played the other one who scared us.
In Premier League phase. What are you talking about?
I know what I'm saying. But you know what I mean? He's played through injury.
Let's be honest,
I think you're right.
The big thing about it is, Jared was brilliant last night.
Yeah.
Like, it was Jared Brantwaite of last season last night. He was so calm, so cool. And I think at times, well, it's not at times, when Jared's on it, Jared calms him down, not the other way.
Yeah.
And you'd always expect they are like two different ends of the spectrum. One's like Jared's like a very modern centre back. We saw it with the Bournemouth centre backs of the day. A couple of kids, but they're so calm and they've been brought up in a different way. And Jared's like that. He's been brought up like that. Whereas Taki's old school. He's come up through the pyramid, Oldham, and and he's proper like Sunday league
main
kind of play. You know what I mean. Head of a brick kind of thing.
Block everything.
Degsy, Mountfield, and all these people that we've had through. Mick Lyons.
You're gonna keep going through them. Your boys.
Yeah,
got a great draw.
These kind of players that we've had, and it is, and just think Taki at times can let himself down more than anybody because he just gets in his own head at times. And I'm happy that you can criticise him for making mistakes, and that's fine. And I think he knows that because he said last night on the aftermatch, he was like, it wasn't like, I told you. It was like, I needed that after what I did on Saturday. I got us knocked out the cup, and that's a leader. That's a leader. A leader doesn't look for other people to blame. They don't look for other people to blame. They know when they're to blame, and he took that. And listen, what was his 100th game for us? He's been a brilliant signing. And of course there will be a moment where we have to look to transition away from him.
We've been looking for better.
And that'll happen, but that hasn't exactly been top of the list, has it? No. In the last 2 years, or certainly.
But then two as a partnership have been brilliant, so there you go. Let's have a look at the stats before we finish overall. Everton 2, Liverpool 2, 10 shots to the Toffee, 6 to Liverpool, 3 on target for us, 4 for them. An XG of 0.95 for Everton and 0.62 for Liverpool, and we were in our sweet spot of possession. So there you go. Beautiful. A 2-2 draw, the last ever Merseyside derby, played at Goodison Park. It was under the lights, and it was ended with an absolute worldie from James.
6 weeks to the next one.
Forget about that. That was boring game. I forget that one. No one cares. Irrelevant. There you go. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are continuing now over on Premier. If you want to become a Premier member, the link is in the description.
What a time to become a Toffee TV Premier member.
Why wouldn't you?
What a time.
Just the QR codes there, just dinking right now. Dinking.
I don't know what does he even know how QR codes work? What dink? That's not dinking.
That's dinking.
This is like the argument of what a remote control for the telly's called, isn't it?
You call it a box.
It's called a box.
You've literally just said.
Put it in the comments if you call your remote control the box. It's not called a pressy.
No, it's not called a pressy.
It's not called a pressy. You can tell you don't have a paper bin or any kind of bin. James O'Brien.
Control.
A pressy.
Anyway. See you later. Bye.